Okay guys, Ivan and Susan here from Vloggers on the Loose. We're in a park in Perth called Whiteman Park. And Whiteman Park's about 25 kilometres northeast of the Perth CBD. Now today's vlog is about things you can do in Perth on a budget. So there's not a lot of things in Perth you can do on a budget, but there are a few things, so we'll mention them for you. Because Perth is generally quite an expensive city. But this park that we're in over here, we're going to walk around the park, and then I'll give you a few hints on things you can do in Perth on a budget. So let's go for a walk and see what we've got lined up for you guys. Okay, so we're just walking through Whiteman Park here, and there's a lot of people out today. Because this is free. There are sections in the park where you have to pay to get into, but generally speaking, walking through this park is free. So some of the free things that we've picked out to do in Perth on a budget would be going to the beaches, Perth's beautiful beaches. You got the iconic Cottesloe Beach. You've got Scarborough Beach. You've got City Beach, you've got Mullaloo Beach in the north, Quinns Beach, which is another beach up in the north. So there's a lot of different beaches going right down the coast where you can go, and that's all free. Just lays on the sand. Don't forget your sun cream, and so you don't get burnt. Close to the city, you've got Kings Park. You've got the two malls in the city, A Street Mall. And Murray Street Mall. We've also got various arcades in the city that you can stroll through. That's all free, unless you find something that you want to buy, of course. Then that'll cost you. You've got Elizabeth Quay. Strolling around Elizabeth Quay is quite good, guys. If you come into Perth or you are local, strolling around Elizabeth Quay is very relaxing. And there are cafes and restaurants there where you can have a drink or something to eat. We've also got the Matagara Bridge, which is free to walk across, but if you want to climb the bridge, that does come at a cost. We're just stopping here, guys, to show you this tram. This is in Whiteman Park. So there is a cost to get on this, but it's pretty cool. You can take that tram. was empty as it went past us. So a few more things to do in the city for free. You can visit the Art Gallery of Western Australia. That's free, but they would appreciate a gold coin donation. They're not forcing you to give, but if you want to, you can. Now in the city of Perth, there's 3 hours free parking also on weekends. So that's pretty cool. These are at City of Perth car parks, by the way. So you've got to look out for the City of Perth car parks to get that 3-hour parking. Now there is also free nighttime parking in the City of Perth car parks, and that goes on every night between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. But this goes to the 30th of June 2023. So just check the Perth City car park websites and they'll tell you everything on there, and we'll put a few of these things, their websites and that, in the section below for you guys to have a look at. In the city there's also cat buses. They're all free to hop on. These cat buses are different colours. You'll see them, they stick out quite well in the city, and they're different colours, and the different colours go to different areas of the city. That's all free to get on. Then you've got the museum. That's not free. That's $15 per adult, and children under 15 are free. So that's not too bad. We've actually been to that museum, and it's a pretty good museum. So if you want to check out something like that, I do recommend it. It's a good spot to check out. Another cheap thing to do in the city is catch the ferry, actually from Elizabeth Quay to South Perth. Now that'll cost you about $3, just over $3 return to catch that ferry, and we have been across there. In our previous blog we've done a blog on South Perth and the free electric bus. That is pretty good. You have to book for that, and it only holds about 10 people on that bus, so you'll have to book early, and that's quite an experience. It's a driverless electric bus, so it's pretty interesting to see how close this bus gets to cars and not praying into them. So we have been across there, like I said. There's also the old mill over there, which you can have a look at. And South Perth foreshore. That's pretty good to walk around, look around there. There's a lot of things on that foreshore, or a lot of different sculptures and that. They look pretty cool. There's also a couple of pubs on that side of the river. The Windsor Hotel, pretty good. That's an icon that's been there for a long time. And there's a few nice restaurants over there in the South Perth side. Now Perth really is notoriously expensive, so if you're looking for somewhere cheap to eat, you can find these places, but they are tucked away. Like in the city there's quite a few Asian type restaurants tucked away down the malls, down the arcades. Some of them are actually in the alleyways, like we've done a blog on alleyways before. Some of them are in the arcades, and those places are reasonably cheap and fairly good food also. But if you really want something super cheap, what you're best of doing is coming to some of the major parks in Perth, like this park here, for instance, Whiteman Park. They've got barbecues here. Bring your own food, steaks and sausages and eggs and what have you, and barbecue your own. And just turn it into a nice fun day. Have a picnic. A lot to do down here at Whiteman Park. There's a lot of other parks also in the city of Perth. Parks close to the beaches and that have barbecues. So you can just have a nice fun day out with the family. Take a few beverages with and barbecue your own. Don't forget to clean the barbecue after you finish though. And just have a nice fun day out. Now this here is a little park in Whiteman Park. The grass is looking really nice and green over here. As you can see guys, there's benches over there. People just sitting down, having a picnic, relaxing. There's a lot of noise going on. Kids playing and that. So getting back to our budget, Perth on a budget. If you want anything at lunchtime, usually most of the shopping centres have got food courts in them. Now these food courts aren't really super cheap, but you can get something decent in these food courts for a good price, especially if you look around, because some of them do have their specials on. And if you want to hang around till late in the day, you can go in there about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they usually package their food, a lot of the Asian restaurants. So you can get a plastic container of food for about $5 or $7, some of them we've seen. So that's pretty good value. Dinner time, if you're looking for something to eat, you probably have to go to a pub or restaurant or something. But if you want to venture into Northbridge, the Chinatown in Northbridge, that's pretty good. The food all in there, food court in there. They've got quite a lot of different restaurants in there. There's also a place in there where you can buy alcoholic beverages, but you have to be eating food from that food court to buy. So the food in there is pretty good because it's from around different countries around the world. There are restaurants in the Chinatown area also. That's only open at night time for dinner. So check that out. The food in there is pretty good and reasonably priced also. We just noticed a cafe over here in Whiteman Park, guys. Don't know what the prices are like, but if you are in Whiteman Park coming down for a picnic or whatever, there's a cafe over there. That looks pretty good. There's a few people in there. There are toilets over here, and on your right hand side over here, these gazebo type things. If you can see them, they are available. They are, and you can see the barbecue there next to the gazebo. So that's the setup they've got over here. But the gazebos do cost. We'll put a link below for you guys of the cost and that of these gazebos. But if you get a group together, it wouldn't cost you that much to hire those things. So the gazebos are for hire, the barbecues are free. Here's a play area here for the kids, quite a good play area. So you know, you got these gazebos around this play area with the barbecues and that. There's actually a couple of barbecues in that play area. So, and gazebos here on the outside. So this gazebo here, guys, as you can see, that would be free. That wouldn't cost because there's no number on it. The numbered ones looks like they're the ones that are for hire, and there's a barbecue right across from that gazebo, so all that's free. But the numbered ones are the ones that you have to pay for. These ones here are free, but I guess it's first in, first best dressed. So come along early if you want one of these, and you'll be able to score one of those gazebos for free. Now guys, if you're into your history and old buildings, heritage buildings, you can go to Guildford. We did do a vlog on Guildford and the heritage buildings, and if you go to the visitors centre there, we'll put a link for you for the visitors centre. They are very, very helpful there in Guildford. Very nice ladies in there. They can explain everything to you. But walking around Guildford is also free, and checking out all the old buildings in there. Most of that's free. Some of them do charge for tours, but you can have a look around the outside. And then also in Guildford, well, talking about Guildford, in Guildford there's an old pub called the Sterling Arms Hotel. They've always got specials on beer, if you're into your beer. At the moment they've got special pints going for $5.99 for a pint. I think it's a James Squire beer. So they seem to change that every month, but usually it's about $5.99 to $7 for a pint, depending on what beer they've got on special. So check the Sterling Arms out in Guildford. The food's pretty good in there, and you can have a fairly cheap pint, because usually in Perth a pint of beer will set you back between $10 and $12 for a pint. In some areas probably more, like in the main entertainment areas in Perth and the nightclubs and that, that'll set you back a bit more. Well, this here is a location map of Whiteman Park. As you can see, it's a very big park, and there's a few train tracks going through. These are just sort of trains for the kids to hop on and off. As I said before, it does cost. So we'll keep walking and show you guys around here, and I'll keep talking about Perth on a budget. Well guys, if you want to head out to a suburb called Morley, there's Coventry markets out there, and that's got a heavy Asian influence in those markets, with the restaurants and cafes. The food over there is pretty good and fairly reasonably priced. There's also quite a lot of restaurants outside the market, and a lot of Asian restaurants outside the market. And we've been to one in particular called Little Viet restaurant. It's a Vietnamese restaurant. Beautiful food, excellent service, and excellent decor. And the prices are pretty reasonable in there. So if you want to check out Little Viet restaurant in Morley, we'll put a link for you below. That's pretty good, and they seem to be open all the time. Every time we've gone there and we thought, oh, the place will be closed, it was open. So check them out. Okay, so shopping in Perth, guys, and we're talking clothing shopping and kitchenwares, homewares, all that type of thing. Not really much. You'll have to look for specials, for sales at all the big department stores and that. And here's a place, here's a DFO near the Perth airport, and we've been there a few times. I mean, you can get things on special. We have bought a few things. Things were okay, but not that super cheap over there. And you've also got Watertown, which is in West Perth. Haven't been there for a long time, but same sort of setup as a DFO at the airport. things aren't that cheap. So the best thing to do for shopping is check websites, check the papers, see if anything's on special. A few people have told me that they're starting to shop at op shops these days, and I've been told you can get a lot of good quality clothes there. I've never ever shopped at an op shop, and I won't ever shop at an op shop because it's not my style, but each to their own. And so yeah, the people that have told me this, I've seen the clothes that they've bought and it looks pretty good. I mean, sometimes you get things that have just been worn once or twice, I guess, and they're all designer label stuff. So check the various op shops out in Perth. Good Samaritans springs to mind. There's a few others there. I can't quite remember them all. Like I said, I don't shop there, so I wouldn't know. It's just a little bit of the nice trees going through Whiteman Park over here. And well, guys, that's it for shopping on a budget in Perth. And what did you think of that? I mean, there's still a lot of other things that you can, find in Perth, but generally speaking, like I said, Perth isn't that cheap. But if you want to look around, you certainly can find a bargain. So let us know in the comments below what you thought, and let us know in the comments below if you've found anything cheap to buy in Perth, like food and clothes and alcohol and all that type of thing. In the meantime, we hope that you subscribe to the channel and like the channel, and we'll see you in the next vlog.